NXT Tuesday, September 9th, 2025. Let's just get right into it. They kicked it off with Wwe Nxt, man. Coming out to the ring, super hyped up, calling out Josh Briggs for what he did last week. Josh Briggs came out and Wwe Nxt, he jumped so high over the top rope, the third rope, completely. Like he was frozen in midair. He got so high in the sky and he jumped on Josh Briggs while he was outside the ring. What did you think about that?
That is one of his best high fly moves that Wwe has ever done.
Yeah, he was super hyped up. They was going at it crazy. And Ava came out in the midst of all of that, and she just made it a match. They had the match right then and there, and it was a real good match, especially on Wwe Nxt's side, man. The young OG, he was definitely super, well, as they would say, bouncy. His turnbuckle moves is on a whole nother level. He gets so high on his frog splashes, on them cutters. Super, man. He go crazy, man. What you think about Wwe Nxt, man?
He a great high flyer in my opinion. He need to go to the main brand soon.
Yeah, he definitely, even at his young age, I think he ready for the main brand like Roxanne Perez was called up. But yeah, Wwe Nxt and Josh Briggs, they was going at it. They've been beefing for a little bit. It was a lot of high fly action from Wwe Nxt, a lot of it. And he was beating Josh Briggs' ass for the most part. Josh Briggs was getting a little hits in every now and then. It even came to one point with Wwe Nxt, he had like Randy Orton punted Josh Briggs right in the head. Just right in the head. And he went coast to coast. He jumped from one turnbuckle and did a swanton bomb kick to Josh Briggs while he was in the other corner on the apron laying down. It was crazy, man. But Josh Briggs won, and he had grabbed a chair, which prompted the referee to like try to get it out of his hand. And while the referee was getting the chair out the ring, it kind of like distracted Wwe Nxt for a little bit, and Josh Briggs was able to like take advantage of that. And he pulled out like a chain real slick. Even the announcers didn't catch it right away. I seen it when he first did it in real time, but the announcers ain't even catch it right away. He had pulled out a chain, and he caught Wwe slipping, whacked him with that chain, and he got that win. Josh Briggs beat Wwe Nxt. What did you think of this match, man?
It was a good match, but I cannot stand Josh Briggs. This dude is just, I think he the worst person on NXT in my opinion.
Yeah, and Yoshiki, you already know him and Josh Briggs. They've been going through all kind of stuff, but that was a real good match. I definitely thought Wwe Nxt was gonna win, but going against Josh Briggs, you got to be ready for anything. He's a cheater. You already know he's beating on his boyfriend. All kind of stuff. Why not? Why wouldn't he pull out a chain and hit Wwe Nxt upside the head with it? But after that was over though, they had Ricky Saints, Young Ava, and Obafemi all in the back, and she was pretty much talking about trying to calm both of them down because they got into it last week in the tag team match. They was blaming each other back and forth. Ava was looking good as usual. If you don't know, Ricky Saints and Obafemi, they finna have a big fight at No Mercy at the end of this month. Who you got winning this match and why?
I got Ricky Saints.
I got Obafemi beating Ricky Saints at No Mercy, so we're going to see which one is right on that. But Ava was letting them know that next week, if y'all don't know, next week is NXT Homecoming. Do you know what university they're going to be at?
I don't know.
Full Sail. I think it's called Full Sail University. Next week, NXT Homecoming. It's a big event for all the NXT veterans and like the new NXT people all coming together, going back to where it originally started. But she was letting them know the Grayson Waller show gonna be back for that week. So, and they gonna be both on the Grayson Waller show, and they can work out a few of their differences. So, make sure y'all look out for that next week. But after that, they had DY. What's that group name?
DIY.
Walking through the back, and they eventually came out to the ring. Pretty much talking. If y'all don't know, they beat Trick Williams' ass last week. Baby Oil was everywhere, all on the ring and the ropes. A little bit got on the on some of the crowd, people in the crowd. It was just getting wild. But DIY, they was out there talking about how they love NXT and there's always gonna be their home and how much they love it. And Trick Williams came out, interrupted all that. He had just as much baby oil, if not, than he had last week. Dripping baby oil, all on the hair and everything. He came out talking to letting them know that he ain't like how they did him last week, and he's still the biggest thing in NXT, whether they like it or not. And he was talking about like he had a partner to take them down, and he was like, it seemed like that he had somebody in mind or somebody was gonna help him. Who came out? Who came out to help Trick or whatever?
Carmelo Hayes.
Young Carmelo Hayes, y'all already know, a.k.a. Little Bow Wow. He just got engaged to Kalani. He doing big things. He came out there with the bun and a tight leather jacket, ready for the action, man. And for a second, you kind of thought him and Trick was going to just go at DIY right away. But no, it wasn't even like that. Carmelo Hayes is still with that old beef. If y'all don't know, Trick and Carmelo, before Carmelo went to the main brand, him and Trick was beefing heavy. So it was kind of like some beef still there. And they was kind of going at it a little bit. And then it kind of, DIY was talking stuff. So it made Carmelo mad a little bit. So Carmelo started talking stuff to them. And they kind of got into it. Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes, they kind of got into it with DIY, so they was going at it back and forth heavy. And then, which one's the dude with the hair? Johnny Gabambam?
Johnny Gargano.
Johnny Gargano, the one who married to who is his wife?
His name is Johnny Gargano.
And who is his wife?
Candice LeRae.
Young Candice LeRae, y'all already know. But yeah, Johnny, he was talking about how they need to have a 2-on-2, DIY versus Trick Williams or Carmelo Hayes, and next week at NXT Homecoming. So make sure y'all look out for that. They finna have Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes team up once again to go against the classic NXT DIY squad. Y'all already know they ex-world champions. They NXT like legends. So this finna be a crazy match. Who you got winning that match next week? Trick and Melo versus DIY at the Homecoming. Who you got and why?
I got Trick Melo.
Why?
I think DIY is just old. They rusty. They ain't gonna be able to do nothing. Go back to SmackDown or just go to Evolve or something.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know who I got winning this, to be honest with you, but I think I might have to go with Trick and Melo. But I don't think they're gonna win. You can never trust the snake. Melo already betrayed Trick before. I do not trust Melo. So at the end of the day, I got DIY winning this match. Cause they got a real brotherhood thing going on. Not Trick and Melo. I don't trust Melo. But after that though, they had, if y'all don't know, the Speed Championship, the whole Speed wrestling is on NXT now. It ain't no more Heritage Cup. We got the Speed Championships. And do you remember who they had on there? Langley Reed versus who?
I forgot her name, but she from AAA.
AAA. Yeah, her name was Fabi Apache. And she from AAA. She like a luchador woman. You know, I don't really know how old she is or how long she been doing it, but she seemed like she knew what she was doing. And she had to go against Langley Reed. Y'all already know they had like, it's a 3-minute match. And like each minute it changed colors. Like I'm really rocking with the Speed thing. But long story short, they went back and forth. I actually like the Fabi Apache. I think she pretty good. But Langley Reed, you know, she up on the up and coming doing her thing. And you know, Natty was in the crowd. Young Natalia. Because she got beef with Fabi Apache on that AAA stuff. You know, Natty being AAA. And so she came there to watch her match personally in the crowd. She ended up coming out in the middle of the match while they was fighting. And she kind of distracted Fabi Apache. And Langley Reed caught her with a nasty knee upside her head. And she got the victory. And it was kind of really because Natty was out there. And she ended up having to like a stare down with Fabi Apache. And that was pretty much it in terms of that. After that, though, they had Soul Ruka in the back talking, getting hyped up, ready for the match. And then Hank and Tank came up, and all four of them was getting hyped, posing, getting ready for the match. They matches later on. All four of them like seemed to be real cool and all that, and they even teamed up before. So yeah, they all cool in the back. And then after that, they had a crazy Blake Monroe promo. Like she was in the bathtub. It was like all red. I don't know. I think I seen some blood. I don't know what's going on with your girl Blake Monroe, man.
I don't know. I think she evil now.
I don't know. I think she definitely going over to the other side right now. Blake Monroe. It went from her just roasting Jordan Grace to now she talking about some whole other stuff. I don't know what to say about this Blake Monroe thing. I don't know what to say, but the promo they had her like landing. I don't know if it was blood. It was like red. It was like on some almost like some creepy stuff. It seemed like something like an old Alexa Bliss would have did or something like that. I don't know, but Blake Monroe, make sure y'all look out for her. She definitely is changing. Something is happening with her, and I don't know quite what it is. But after that, though, they had Dark State versus Hank and Tank for the tag team championships, and Dark State they came out. Who the Dark State? Who actually the champions in Dark State?
Deion Lennox and Osiris Griffin.
Yeah, they came out, and then Hank and Tank came out, and they just started going at it early, and Hank and Tank almost won real early. They had got Deion Lennox out the ring some kind of way, and they was beating Osiris' ass, whooping his ass, and they almost got the early victory. But it was a real good match. You already know Hank and Tank can't beat Dark State though. You know Dark State is four of them. Each time the ref turning his head, they doing a little slick stuff in the back. It's four of them. There's nothing you can really do with that. But in the middle of the match, they had something with what happened with Cutler.
Cutler James had Hank Walker outside the ring, and he was like, Joe Hendry isn't going to help him now. You already know. Say his name and he appears. He accidentally summoned him. And Joe Hendry came out that one wall that Jada Parker put Michin through about a year ago.
Yeah, so, and then what happened with that, all that?
Joe Hendry started chasing Cutler, and in the middle of that, when the ref was distracted, Deion Lennox got that roll-up on Tank and got the victory and retained the titles.
Yeah, so, Dark State, they retained it. They are defending champions, yet again, they doing a thing out there. They beat Hank and Tank once again. Hank and Tank lost. I'm kind of happy they did. Dark State pulled out another victory. And then after that match, what happened with Lexus King in the locker room?
All right, so Lexus King had something going on in the locker room. He was talking to Charlie Dempsey, and then all of a sudden, Miles Bourne just walked in the room, and the lights turned off, and you heard a bunch of chair shots, and Miles Bourne attacked Lexus King.
Yeah, he started beating his ass. They definitely finna have some another fight, because that last match wasn't like a real match. That blindfold match, Lexus King cheated. And he got that win, so that was crazy. But after that, they the next match they had this night was who did they have? Tavion Heights versus who?
Ethan Page.
Was the championship on the line for this?
Sadly, no.
No, okay. What kind of match was this?
A flag match.
And how did this match go, man?
So there is a flag of the United States, which Tavion, which was representing for, and a flag of Canada, which Ethan was representing for, and they were hung on opposite sides of the ring posts, and whoever grabs their flag first from the top is the winner.
Yeah, and long story short, Tavion ended up winning. He ended up beating Ethan Page's ass. It was a pretty good match, though. But did somebody return?
Tyler Breeze.
You already know NXT alumni, one of them NXT guys. He back, and what the hell was Tyler Breeze doing out there?
He basically came back to the music hit. He entered the ring. He took basically a selfie over Ethan Page while he was down and out.
Yeah, Tyler Breeze still on that doing what he doing, man. I think he'll probably find his way in making like a trio with Josh Briggs and Yoshiki. Who knows, man? You never know. But after that, though, They had a young Lola Vice promo, like her life segment, pretty much. Just letting you know what type of Latina she is, man. How her and her family, they all got black belts, they all got college degrees. All her family can fight. They showed you her sister, her father, like they was just showing. If you a Lola Vice fan, you probably support that, man. What you think about Lola Vice? Do you think she gonna be JC Jane at No Mercy?
Yes, she is, because Fatal Influence is having some issues, and I really want Lola to win. I'm a big Lola Vice fan.
Yeah, I 100% think Lola finna beat JC Jane. It's over. It's time for Lola Vice to get that belt, and this is the right time. JC Jane we all know she can't beat Lola Vice. But after that, speaking of JC Jane and Fatal Influence, they showed them backstage getting ready for their big triple threat main event tag team elimination match. So that's a big thing. They getting ready to show what they can do. JC Jane is not competing. She's just there for support. And after that, man, we just gonna get right into it. The main event of the night. They got Zarya and Sol Ruka versus the Culling. Who the two women in the Culling?
Izzy Dame and Tatum Paxley.
Versus Fatal Influence. Triple threat elimination. And if you get pinned, your team is out. Pretty much how it's go. And yes, tag is fluid. It's not tornado. And this is a real good match. 6 different women, 6 different styles. Zarya and Izzy Dane, they more on a powerhouse type spectrum, but it was just a lot of back and forth out there. And best believe, you already know these groups, they got 3-4 members. They gonna be cheating as much as they can. Soon the ref turn their back. That's exactly what Sean Spears and Nico was doing. But they was getting caught. They was getting their ass beat pretty much by Sol Ruka. She was jumping on them. She did a corkscrew backflip, landed outside the ring on them. She was just killing, man. Sol Ruka, she definitely ready for the main roster. The women's North American champion / speed champion. It's a reason why she double champ. She cold, and if y'all, man, she just fire, man. Sol Ruka is nice. That's a fact. And when she was doing all these moves, she jumped in the crowd, started crowd surfing with the crowd. The crowd loved her. They was chanting Sol Ruka. She was killing the whole match. Everybody was doing their thing, though. You already know Fallon Henley. She one of the best ones too. Zarya, she was going off, but she couldn't really go too crazy because Izzy Dane big as hell too. Izzy Dane like Lash Legend height. And speaking of that, this episode had no Lash Legend, no Kalani Jordan, and no who?
Miss Parker.
No Jada Parker. They was nowhere to be found. This is all like more of the homecoming type stuff. But anyway, Sol Ruka, all them, they was going at it. It was an even matchup. And Tatum Paxley, man, I'm a huge Tatum Paxley fan. I think she is a great wrestler. She be doing all kind of stuff. I didn't even know she could do a 450 splash and all that stuff. Tatum Paxley is nice, man. I like Tatum Paxley, but they was all going at it, and it came to one point. It was so much going on. Sol Ruka was catching everybody with everything. She went up she was finna snatch somebody's soul, and what happened?
Zarya got pushed into it and got her soul snatched.
Yes, Sol Ruka snatched Zarya's soul, her own partner.
Sol Ruka officially owns her now.
Yeah, she got knocked out, and I forgot one of the women jumped on that real quick, and she hurried up and pinned Zarya. I have yet to see somebody kick out of that soul snatch though, and Zarya showed in the kick out, and they got eliminated first. So after that, it was the Cullen women versus Fatal Influence, and the Cullen, you already know they got 4 members. Fatal Influence only got 3, and at the same time, Izzy Dame is a beast. What is Jasmine Nix gonna do with Izzy Dame? Nothing. Fallon Henley can barely do anything with her, and Tatum Paxley, we all know she better than Jasmine Nix. So they couldn't really do nothing. That combo right there, Izzy Dame and Tatum Paxley, too much for them. They ended up getting that win easily. Even JC Jane was trying to help them, and they still couldn't get the win. Cullen wins. They beat they won the triple threat elimination. They came out on top out of the 3 teams. What did you think of this match, man?
This is a great main event.
Yeah, all the ladies did their thing. That's a fact, 100%. And after the Cullen win, they left, doing all that. JC Jane started going crazy. Started snapping on Jasmine Nixon, Fallon Henley, telling them how she don't need them, how she been carrying them, how she the greatest champ, and she's calling them losers. Pretty much saying they weak as hell. And in the middle of all of her pretty much talking about them like that, it was like 3, 4, 5 black trucks pulled up out of nowhere. And I wonder what we don't know what was going on. Then they had ran to a commercial and they showed JC still talking big stuff. You don't even know what's going on. JC just talking big stuff, talking about how she the coldest, the greatest women's champion, not just the greatest NXT champion. She just said she the greatest women's champion in WWE, period. She the greatest. Oh, she was just talking big stuff, man. Your girl JC Jane, man. She do her thing, man. But she was talking so much stuff. Crowd was booing her out of nowhere, man. Who came out?
La Primera, Stephanie Vaquer.
Young Stephanie Velcro came out. She was one of the women one of the people, I guess, in the black trucks. So she came out looking amazing. She had on this black outfit. She didn't even have the horns on. She just came out with this nice tight black outfit. She was looking good. Barely could speak English. I ain't know what the hell she was saying, but we already know she with the shit, man. She ready to fight. Whatever. She got a big fight against Io at WrestlePalooza coming up on September 20th. So make sure y'all check that out. That's gonna be crazy. But yeah, she was going at JC James talking about y'all remember when Stephanie Velcro was double titled up? She had the NXT Women's title and the North American title. She was letting JC James know, don't forget that. And she was like, yeah, even though you beat her, but we already know JC Jane cheated to beat Stephanie Velcro. So Stephanie Velcro, she was out there talking her stuff, letting her know, JC, you ain't all of that. And she had somebody else that got her back because they finna get on her time. And who was the next person to come out?
Tiffany Stratton.
Back on NXT. Y'all already know. And then not only just Tiffany Stratton, the undisputed women's champion Tiffany Stratton. She back. I never thought she would come back to NXT. I thought she was going to leave. NXT never came back. She came back. She had her belt. She was looking super good. Head to toe. I don't know. I'm just going to put you on the spot, man. Who was looking better? Stephanie or Tiffany?
Equal.
They was both looking good. That's a fact. That's two different That's two different flavors right there. You can go either way or both together, man. You already know, but that's a whole nother thing right there. But man, Tiffany started talking big stuff. If you think about it, can't nobody talk bigger stuff than Tiffany right now. She got the most important title in wrestling of all over the world. Ain't no belt more important than the title that she got. The only belt to come close to it is right under it, like right next to it, a little under it, but right next to it, side by side, is that Women's World Championship, which is vacant. So can't nobody talk big stuff like Tiffany right now. She was talking her stuff, and she was looking good. But y'all already know Stephanie Velcro and Tiffany Stratton by themselves probably still can't beat Fatal Influence. They probably could, but they still outnumbered. So you already know it was like 2-3 trucks that pulled up. So who else was in that truck that came out to help Stephanie and Tiffany to make them numbers even up a little bit?
You already know. Your mommy, Rhea Ripley.
Young Rhea Ripley. She came out there ready to battle. She had the big shoulders, ready to crunch something up. And oh yeah, JC Jane was scared. You could when Rhea Ripley came out, you could seen it. JC Jane was scared. You already know they got similar looks. They got same aesthetics. JC Jane and Rhea Ripley, she was really looking at her mommy face to face. It was wild. But NXT, that's how they closed it out, man. 3 of the top women in wrestling in the world. All 3 of them probably gonna be in Hall of Fame one day. Rhea Ripley, Tiffany Stratton, and Stephanie Velcro. All of them gonna probably be Hall of Famers one day. They all was on NXT. The fans are super happy. If you was a fan and you had a ticket for that night just to see NXT, you got to see Tiffany, you got to see Steph, you got to see all kind of people for that night. So the fans in attendance, they was definitely happy. overall though, I think this was a pretty good episode of NXT. What you think of this episode, man?
It was great. It could have had Kalani, Lash, and Jada though.
Yeah, no Kalani, Lash, and Jada, but it was still a great episode. Make sure y'all tune in next week. It's gonna be the homecoming. We're gonna have all kind of surprises right there. Just be ready for that. It's finna go down. And later this week, we got what's the AAA event coming up this week?
Worlds Collide again.
Worlds Collide Part 2 this year. And it's on a Friday. Make sure y'all catch that. I think it's free on YouTube. Y'all already know Triple Mania went crazy. They had Omos come out. They had a whole Dirty Dime was there. So Worlds Collide 2 finna be crazy coming up. And yeah, NXT, this is another fire episode. Message of the day.
We're talking about even more LA Knight. Why his clothes be so LA tight? He's kind of scared. He uses his LA fright and do not leave no food around him. He'll take a LA bite.